Hello, my name is Joe Radovan. I came from the Philippines and have been living in Australia for almost 12 years now.
So what was it like coming to Australia?
What was like moving to Australia? It was very scary, I can tell you that, especially the fact that I've lived almost 7 years of my life in this certain country and then moving to Australia and having to adapt to various cultural changes that is presented to us when we came over here.
Tell me what role you did and what you had to do to get the teaser the way it is.
So, what I did for the teaser, my role was essentially I was the camera operator for the day, and during post, I was its editor. And essentially, what I did was essentially just edit the teaser down into the length that we wanted and then just shipped it off to Jay. And the way that we shot it and the way that I've edited during post was we did it mostly in Moss, and then Jake essentially had to create the tone and the atmosphere after the edit phase was done. I think essentially it led up to Shane, our producer, on cutting out most of the audio, as he felt that in the teaser essentially there was no dialogue, and then that led to him thinking of creating this almost surrealistic tone that ended up being presented in the teaser by creating this really atmospheric ambience and very guttural animal noises that was used to create the beast.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I actually forgot about the sound. When I told you to delete all the sound when we finished it before we sent it to Jake, I totally forgot we had sound. So that's why I actually told you to delete it. And then when I dropped it off the hard drive, because we do it in physical instead of digital, down the hard drive on me. But we had the hard drive. I had it saved on there after you did the cut, because you did it on my computer here. And then I had to drive all the way to Jake's, which is about an hour and a half from where I live. And by the time I got to his house, I dropped it off, handed it to his brother, got in my car, started driving back home. I was like, I should have left audio on it. And I didn't even tell Jake about it. So by the time I got home, Jake's finished work. He's got home. He's probably looked at the files already. And then I think 20 minutes later is when I got home. I messaged him saying, I just remembered me and Joel took all the sound out. And I can actually tell you his exact response was actually pretty funny. He was I'll try to actually find him right now. He was actually pretty cool about it. He was just like, okay, fair enough. There was no. I thought he would actually be mad about it.
I thought we actually had planned on doing it mostly Moss in the first place, so that what we actually did record in the day was practically useless in terms of how it would elevate the post sound process. So I think it was almost like a blessing in disguise that we didn't have sound on the timeline.
Well,
Yeah.
the original plan was like the sound that we recorded, because as you heard it in the camera, there wasn't much sound. It was just more cues for him. Like on the day, you probably remember when Liam would just go, and that was the sound of the creature. So that gave Christian looking points.
Yeah, but the thing is, when I edited that, I remember I think it was either faint or I actually cut around the sound cues so that looking back now on the teaser that we've worked on, Jake actually used my cutting cues as to create the sound actually. he actually worked around the edit, which I actually really like.
But pretty much he was actually pretty cool about it. He actually said he preferred that we had no sound anyway, because it made his job easier. Because like your cuts as well, you have people won't notice this, but there is actually a lot of cuts in it. But
Oh,
unless you're editor, you
for
won't
me,
notice this.
for me, it's all about the pacing of the the pacing of the edit with the teaser. I do realize, I think counting, remembering from the top of my head, there was at least 10 cuts. And I remember thinking to myself, how can I hide these cuts? And a really good device that you and I both think of, or I don't know if it was primarily you, but like putting the the first person view of the screen recording of him struggling to type was very clever, as to cut the um, various ways of the monster, as well as the passage of time that Tom was facing, because it really did show how hard it was for him to type up the script that he was in the teaser.
I'm just trying to find the storyboard now because I actually can't remember if I actually storyboard it in there. I got a folder full of storyboards now.
Yeah, we actually did have a storyboard on the day, and I remember as soon as I saw it, I didn't rely on it much during the editing phase, because I felt that would create a certain bias, like a certain
That's why.
structure that I had to adhere. Yeah,
My drawings I'll put on digitally. They're really bad. They're really bad drawings.
I gotta say,
It was in editing we decided because it was literally just the movements of the faces is how we did it. So yeah, it was in post. I don't know if it was you or me who came up with the idea originally, but I remember Liam when he heard it, was like he wasn't sure about it. But as soon as you and me actually did it and showed him it, he actually went, "Wow, that actually works well."
yeah.
That's his exact reaction because I know Liam that well. Wow.
Wait, what? No, no, wait. It was Ollie.
The Ollie, his recommendation was show more of the typing, and he said don't use as many because if you ever the original cut, I see if I can find it. You actually had a lot of jumps in it. Have you ever suffered from like any sleeping issues similar to like Tom has?
Oh man, I gotta say, like there actually has been times where it's mostly the fact that like I tend to like overstress a lot, and there have been numerous times where I'm dreaming a scenario that's very much like so close to reality that I actually didn't know that it was a dream, and I would just like follow that dream on until it um leads to like something that happens within that dream that I actually can't avoid, and I feel very confrontational about, and I just wake up, and then I couldn't help but realize that that dream actually relates to an event that actually happened, something prior on that day, before that night. Yeah, I've had like scenarios like that before, where I just couldn't sleep because of essentially overstressing, or something to do with my mental states, where I can't help but like imagine scenarios in my sleep, and it just keeps me up at night to a point where I just don't want to go back into that and relieve that again. Yeah.
Sleeping issues is a very big thing for us filmmakers, especially for you as an editor. You'll be stressing about getting the cut right for the EPs and all that, which isn't
There have been
as big of an issue with us now.
there have been times where during my sleep, I kid you not, when I'm sleeping, I'm dreaming about looking at a screen, first person view, and just playing the edit on that screen and just waking up. Like there have been times where I'm just dreaming about the edit and then dreaming about the scenarios and whatnot that I could change during the edit. It's very stressful actually, especially the the responsibilities that's been given to your shoulders as the editor to compile the film into a structure that makes sense because it all does rely on the edit.
You don't feel like that when you're doing our teaser, did you? I felt less stressful, or
With the teaser, I felt that because it was very short, very quick, I couldn't help but feel that it was a little bit more relaxing than previous projects that I've been attached with, as like it was straight to the point. But there have been some times where I couldn't help but feel that certain elements actually on the day that could have helped the teaser a lot, such as maybe a little bit more coverage on that would give me plenty of cutaways to cut to from because as we've talked about earlier, we did feel that there was a certain jumpiness to early stages of the editing phase because we didn't film a lot more coverages. I felt like there should have been a lot more coverages on on either keyboards or on Tom's face because that's actually one of the scenarios that I dreamed about, where I dreamed about this film, this video that we didn't shoot in real life, but I just dreamed about shooting them because I couldn't help but like think about that and just worry about that and just worry that this would be very crucial to the film because we've missed something that's detriment and that we can't get that back anymore, you know?
well, the thing with like the shoot was like the shots were on me because I storyboarded it. I think during a really busy week for me because at the time we had uni, of course, and I was producing a short film. So I think when I was storyboarding it, I didn't really picture all the angles in that. I was doing it from a writing point of view, even though I should have been doing it because I was the DOP. So I had to plan the shots. I should have thought more, what shot do we need here and there? As you could see in my storyboard, I wanted to show his face. Then I wanted him to turn, and I want us to see the angle of him turning. Then I want it back on his face again, because my idea was the creature was going to slowly appear over time. Every time he looks away, he's going to reappear. But when we were shooting it, you actually solved issues that I was having with it. You said don't show the creature, which actually works better because you've read the script, as you know. The creature's he's there, but he's not there. Where I was kind of in the teaser making him there, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, we we um we later decided that there should be an ambiguity to the existence of the creature, and I felt that showing parts of the creature that's not just the hands would give it away, ruin that perception of the reality within that universe. Yeah.
Especially as we're
So
currently redesigning the creature, so he's not gonna have those long, very uncomfortable gloves to wear. Um, the full body suit that isn't in the teaser now, oops, but was in the original teaser actually had it was a skin suit that was very baggy on me. It wasn't a proper skin suit. It was it's a knockoff skin suit. I'm gonna say it straight out. It was a knockoff one. Costume was horrible, and we couldn't reveal. There's a part in the script which I know you know what part I'm talking about. The ending bit. We can't say much about it, but we couldn't show you that. And I realized showing I couldn't show the face because if I showed the face, then it would have gave away the ending, which I didn't like the idea of giving it too much away. But when I was storyboarding it, I didn't think of that. But as soon as we got to filming it, it became more apparent we should not show the face. We should show just the arm, leg, or something like that. And then when we got to the edit room, you you showed me the cut you did, and I got annoyed every time I saw the skin suit because there was a hole in it as well in the shoulder. That embarrassed the hole that you pointed out to me on set that I didn't even pick up on. It looked horrible. It looked really cheap and nasty, even though the outfit wasn't cheap. So, as you've read the script, you can answer this question probably better than most of us, other than me and Liam, of course. What connected you most to this story? Do you think?
I think what connected me was just how relatable and very empathetic Tom is, because we have been those periods of like trials in like our life where essentially we think and overstress about certain scenarios that like keeps us late in the night, and we can't help but like think about that, and like and having those different types of stressors, I believe that's the proper term, like really does like hold back like our performance and hold back certain like periods of rest that we can't help but repeat this horrible cycle of worrying worrying, not getting enough sleep, then going back to worrying, and underperforming, and then going back to worrying. Like, yeah, like I've had that before in certain scenarios, outside of just doing film as well. Doing a previous job that I did, where constantly every time I make a mistake, I couldn't help but feel that I have let my employers and my team down. And that led me to stressing a lot, to dreading working back with them, and that dread then affecting my ability to work for them. Like it's a very serious topic that I think a lot of people would emphasize with.
I gotta say, we were very experimental with our teaser. Like, you had to send messages. Well, you put YouTube videos up of the teaser, so both Liam and I to look at. Liam as the director to look at. Me as the producer had to make sure everything was running smoothly. Do you feel like the connection that we were doing like over internet worked better for you, or did you prefer the more in person, which we also did, you and me?
I felt that it was nice having that those lengths of me just working on my own, and then you catching back up with me via online. But I felt like the personal connections that we made as we sat down in the edit, I preferred that a lot better, as I felt that I was getting the feedback like instantaneously on the spot. And I like that. I like that. I like progress. For me, progress to be done faster than longer. Yeah, but I feel like certain scenarios does have benefits and does have like cons on its own, and just finding a way to balance that out. Yeah, especially with the time that we're living in, like where everyone has to work in their homes, and and that affecting essentially their working habits, you know.
The unknown if we'll be in another lockdown or not, which
Oh
has been a
yes.
big thing for the past few years. Um, as you, I said in Jake's interview, I have a habit of passing our projects around over hard drive. That's a new thing for you because at TAFE and at uni we had to use send it on a server and then we get it off the server and that's how we work. Did you think it
Yeah.
was better or do you think it was worse passing around on a hard drive?
I think with hard drives, I think it's because it's all due to access, like access that we have now. We can't we don't have the luxury of having a or afford a high tech, like high security cloud server system workflow. So having the hard drives for time being is very nice. And with working with hard drives comes the I would say the drawbacks of having physical media, and therefore having to track down those physical media and knowing where it's been. It's very hard. It's not very instantaneous as like dragging and clicking a file from the server into your your platform of choice, and then putting out a new version into the cloud again. Yeah, but I think we found a rhythm and a way to know who's getting on what stage of the post process. I felt like, yeah, we're working on it.
Is there anything you want to say before I stop recording you?
If you help fund sleep, you're also helping fund the careers, the 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 future of these filmmakers who are who have dedicated themselves to create content for everyone to enjoy. And I would like I would like that to be seen and to be met and exceeded, essentially. Like because this film will be essentially it will be what makes helps us put and build solid foundation for the future. I reckon.
All right, thank you, Joel, for this interview.
No
You
worries.
enjoy editing it.